Okay folks, you know the drill. As some of the current anime for this season are coming to an end, we move on to the new ones arriving next winter. Though it's only a month away, it's not too early to mention some of the exciting upcoming new and returning anime series that I think we'll all be interested in. With that in mind, this is Animanko 9000, a channel where we talk about contents related to anime, manga, and other types of media. And in this video, I'll be listing the top anime series coming in winter 2025. By the way, if you want to hear more content related to the three I mentioned, just subscribe to my channel and don't forget to leave some comments down below by the end of this video. Starting off with a new anime adaptation called Bogus Skill Fruit Master, the setting for this series takes place where people are able to gain one special skill after eating a magical fruit, but they can only eat just the one, as eating a second results in death. The main character Light unluckily ended up with a seemingly useless skill, as it specializes in fruit cultivation and not meant for combat. However, after realizing the skill he got allows him to eat more than one of those magical fruits without any danger to his life, he now goes on a journey to become the world's greatest adventurer. The anime in general is nothing too special, but it's still something fun to watch, so I say give it a try. Next, we got another new series called The Elf Girl's Cat is Secretly an S-Ranked Monster. In this series, a proud knight got reincarnated as an S-Ranked monster, but was mistaken as a normal cat by an elf girl. Then, upon being picked up by the elf girl, they would live and go on journeys together, with the cat-like monster doing his best to protect his new master. Truthfully, I only read a few chapters within the manga series, so to me it's okay overall, but if any of you are curious enough to want to watch it, then be my guest. Plus, who can say no to anime elf girls? Speaking of a series involving an elf girl, we got one called Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. It's basically both an isekai and reverse isekai situation, where this series MC, Kazuhiro, is somehow able to travel between Japan and a fantasy-like world whenever he falls asleep. Then, in this dream world, he befriends an elf girl, and along the way he finds out he can bring his elf companion back to his world, and vice versa, resulting in all sorts of new adventures in Japan and the other world. I also read only a few chapters of this series in the manga, but so far it's pretty good and wholesome. Moreover, if you enjoy fantasy, slice of life kind of thing, then this might be your cup of tea. Moving on, we also got a series where the main character's special skill was initially useless, but then become overpowered. The series is called Even Given the Worthless Appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest, and here, the main character known as Ein is granted the unfavorable job of an appraiser, which only allows him to appraise materials but no other benefits. However, after a chance encounter with an S-ranked tree hidden in a dungeon, his ability would not only evolve, but he would also become stronger. I've already read some of the chapters in the manga, and even though the story may sound generic, it's definitely something I would recommend watching once the anime adaptation comes out. Coming up, we got a series that is based on an action role-playing video game. It's called Farmaia, and if the character designs happen to look familiar, well, they're all designed by Hiro Mashima, the creator of Fairy Tail himself. Unfortunately, other than knowing that the setting takes place in a fictional land in the underworld where human-like denizens magically farm and grow monsters to use in battle and society, I honestly don't know anything about the series in general. Still, this looks like an interesting and decent enough series to dive into. Plus, if you enjoy any of the work where the creator of Fairy Tail is involved, I say why not watch it. But in any case, let's now get into a new isekai series called Headhunted to Another World from Salaryman to Big 4. As the title implies, the story for this series revolves around an ordinary salaryman who got teleported to another world, but instead of being summoned by some goddess to save it, he got summoned by a demon lord and appointed him as one of his generals in order to help manage and expand his kingdom. It's a unique take in the isekai genre, and after reading some of the chapters from the manga series, it's no doubt entertaining as we see the main character use his experience and knowledge as a salaryman in order to deal with all sorts of business in the new world. I mean, if nothing else, it wouldn't hurt to watch it to pass the time. Next on the list, we got a new season of the 100 Girlfriends anime. If you think having 5 or 7 love interests is a bit much, well, this dude is going to have 100 of them. After being rejected by 100 girls in his lifetime, it is later revealed that due to an error, the MC of the series, Rintaro, is destined to have 100 girls fall in love with him once he enters high school. He's already got some girls in the first season, now it looks like he's going to get more in this next one. So if you enjoy this kind of rom-com series, I would start watching the first season before the second arrives if you haven't already. While still on the subject of new seasons, we also got second seasons of The Apocryphy Diaries and Unnamed Memory. Frankly, I'm not familiar with either of these series, so I don't know what to expect for these upcoming seasons. All I know is that for Apothecary Diary, it follows a young girl who is working as an apothecary but now works in the Imperial Palace and is involved with solving various mysteries for the royal court. And as for Unnamed Memory, it follows a crown prince of a powerful country who requests a witch to be his wife in order to circumvent a curse that prevents him from having descendants. If I have a chance, I might actually try to look more into them, but to those who know more about these series, just giving you all a heads up. Halfway through the list now, we got a second season of Kinnikuman Perfect Origin arc. If you don't know anything about this series, it's essentially a continuation of the original Kinnikuman series and is related to the Ultimate Muscle series that aired in 4Kids TV. The second season continues where the first season left off, as we see more characters arrive to face off against the antagonists who call themselves the Perfect Children. Though I will admit this series is a bit odd, and if you haven't watched the original series, you will be confused at what's going on. Nevertheless, if you enjoy fights that involve some bit of wrestling, then trust me, this is something you should not sleep on. Same can be said for the fourth and final season of Dr. Stone. In his quest to find out more on how the population around the world turned to stone, Senku and his companions have reached America, and of course they will encounter a lot of oppositions. However, this might be their greatest challenge yet, especially since Senku is going up against someone who might match him in intelligence. As someone who finished reading the manga series, I won't spoil any more than what was already shown in the latest trailers, but let me just say this season will be wild. A lot of wit, brain power, and whole ounce of ingenuity are going to be involved here, so I suggest you be prepared of what's coming next. Okay, so while I did say that the Salaryman series would be a unique take on the isekai genre, this series called The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World kinda tops that. It's both an isekai series, but at the same time, it's also pretty much a parody of the Power Rangers / Super Sentai series. The story focuses on a ranger-like character who feels like he could actually belong to any of the Super Sentai franchise and got reborn in an entirely different world, becoming its protector. I accidentally discovered this series some time ago, but I can tell you this is something you won't regret watching. So if you are a longtime Power Rangers or Super Sentai fan, the series is funny, a lot of fun, and has a good amount of action scenes to get into. Following that, we got a new series from the Fate franchise, Fate Strange Fake. Just like the previous iteration of the Fate series, mages and servants are involved and they are fighting for the Holy Grail. In this case, the war is taking place in America. And if there's anything else I should expect about the series, is that the fight choreograph is going to be amazing and the series itself will likely be an emotional roller coaster. Don't worry if you haven't watched any of the previous iteration before this one, they are technically not a continuity of this latest installment. Though I would suggest watching the Fate Stay Night or Fate Zero just to understand the basic premise of the Fate universe. Proceeding forward, we got a new incoming series that I think we are all looking most forward to. This series is called Sakamoto Days, and initially I had doubts about whether this series is going to be good, but once I caught up reading every chapter of the manga, it blew my expectations away. As we can see, the series is about an overweight retired assassin who started a family, yet despite retirement, the assassin world has caught up to him once again, and though he vows not to kill, he's still shown to be far stronger than the average assassin. And, based on the trailer, it looks like the animators are really going all out on this one, so I'm really excited to see how well the anime will adapt the series. Finally, saving the best for last, we got a second season of Solo Leveling. If you think season 1 was already good, or to some who think it's mid, then I can assure you the story and action in this upcoming season has leveled up. Don't believe me? Then I suggest watching the movie that is currently in US theaters. Majority of the film is just a recap of season 1, but the rest of the film will feature the first 2 episodes of season 2. I've already watched the film myself, and the episode for the upcoming new season is a great solid start. Seriously, this is one of the best manhwas ever adapted into anime, so the anticipation for this series is really high. Anyway, that's about it for this video. Which of these upcoming anime series are you looking forward to? Just leave some comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.